song, I hope you all trust that. And you'll accept this fragrant point of view. You see, a person's life is written in the words that he paid for. You know that costs something that's to do. Forget all you see and hear in the so-called perfect town. Embrace this life and how you live and what you do. Yeah, treat everybody with
I'm having a little bit of trouble. If I get too much.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, this is Holly Maxwell at the
Hey, I'm here.
Holly V. Maxwell.
I am live.
Back from a triumphant gig in New York City.
And I'm just having a ball here seeing the Chief, and I'm wishing him a happy birthday, and may he have many, many more, so that he don't leave me here by myself in this mess.
And just to remind all the folks, when the beginning of your career, you were the lady that replaced a very famous singer by the name of Tina Turner in her husband's band. Are you not?
I am that lady. Yes, I am.
There you go.
Not only that, I'm one of
blues history here.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that you know that I was Jimmy Smith, the greatest jazz organist in the world. I was his vocalist for 3 long, beautiful years.
That's what we got going on here in Chicago, capital of the Midwest Coast. We got the blues going on here.
Guess what? I got the blues, y'all.
That's it. Holly V. Maxwell, thanks for stopping by the camera.
It was my pleasure, and thank you.
This is Scott, a.k.a. Street, from the band Dr. 8 with Holly V. Maxwell at Eddy Clearwater's birthday party.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Mad PR twins from the north side of Chicago, here in the capital of the Midwest Coast. This is Lynn Orman and Abby Sparks from Abby Sparks Media and Orman Music.
And we will ignite your life.
And just so everybody knows, we think they're hot. There's no question about it. We got some hot PR people around here, right? And Abby and Lynn are here at Eddy Clearwater's birthday party up here at the Space, and they're wishing Eddie a happy birthday, right, ladies?
Oh, we are. We're a big fat kiss.
There you go. But again, we just wanted to make sure that we got you in the shot here because of the happening people here at the Space in Evanston. It's Lynn Orman and Abby Sparks. So that's it for now, and don't hide your face, Lynn. Don't hide your face. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
We'll be back with them. We'll be back with them a little bit later. And this is Scott, a.k.a. Street, from the band Dr. 8, signing off for now. We'll see ya. Bye, babies. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever part of the world you're in and what time of day you're watching this. This is Scott Pollock, a.k.a. Street, from the band Dr. 8, coming to you from the Critical Post, Chicago. Chicago, Illinois, USA, capital of the Midwest Coast, with another episode from our inaugural set of broadcasts. With this particular episode, we're opening up the entertainment portion of what we'll be taping and putting together for you. We had the distinct opportunity and pleasure of going up to the Space in Evanston, Illinois, which is just north of the border of Chicago. If you are traveling by car, approximately 4 minutes north of the border. And we are very pleased to have made the acquaintance of Dave Specter, and he was gracious enough to let us sit in and do the taping there. And also we'd like to thank again Lynn Orman for tuning us in on what's going on with Eddy, the Chief Clearwater. This taping finds us at Eddy the Chief Clearwater's birthday bash. He is 78 years old, and I'm sure the blues aficionados know who Eddy the Chief Clearwater is. But for those of you who don't know the Chief, Eddy Clearwater is what I would say is from the sophomore class of Peerage. That goes back to the days of Chess Records. And he was a young man when the likes of Chuck Berry and Whitney Dixon and Howard Wolf and Muddy Waters and Etta James and Little Anthony and Sonny Boy Williamson and whatnot, all of those great blues players. He was a young man, and he was coming up back then and shared the stage with a lot of those players until finally somebody told him to get out there in front and do something. So we've got an interview with him and some of his music and some of that performance, and then a little bit later on in the show, as I referenced earlier, we're going to get to Dave Specter and spend some time with Dave Specter, who is also a venerated musician in his own right, and one of the other personalities from the constellation of stars out in Chicago. And again, we'd like to thank Dave for inviting us backstage to his studio section of the space. One quick note about the space in Evanston: you can go to their website, and for any night that you feel like attending, you can reserve a table for as many people as you can crowd around it, I believe, for about $25 a table. So, I think the most you can probably fit around the table is 4 or 5, but that's not a bad deal, and the drinks are good, and food is good, and it's a great boutique stage to watch entertainment. So, without much more fanfare, here are those interviews, and I'm sure you can see we're having a little fun at the beginning of all this. We hope you enjoy what you watch. We'll see you in a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, tired as hell. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to
ladies and gentlemen. This is Scott Pollock, aka Street, from the band Dr. A, coming to you from the capital of the Midwest Coast, Chicago, Illinois, USA, and the Critical Post, Chicago. We're backstage on the night of the birthday of one of the most venerated blues men in the world, Mr. Eddy the Chief Clearwater, and we're here celebrating his birthday. We're going to be showing you footage of the show mixed in with all of this, and you'll be able to see how well the crowd loves Eddy Clearwater. Eddy, welcome to an interview with the Critical Post Chicago. It's really great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Really great to see you. Happy birthday. Eddy Clearwater is 78 years young, ladies and gentlemen.
78 years young, that's correct.
And he looks great, he looks great. Eddy, you know, for a lot of the people that are younger, okay, because, you know, there are blues aficionados out there, and they know everything, but for people that don't know a lot about you, which they should by now, but for people that don't know, give us just a little bit of some of the background where you come from. I heard a story once, and I'll remind you about it a little bit later in the interview, but give us a little bit of your background and where you started and what you did and how much dues you paid playing the blues.
Okay, my background, I started in Macon, Mississippi. That's where I was born. And January 10th, 1935, we really picked this day for my party because that's the only day that Space had available in this month. So that's why we had to take the date that we had. But it was actually on the 10th,
Right.
January 10th. But I came from a very humble background in the South, working in the field, picking cotton. I told my wife quite a bit about the experiences that I had when I was a child, very young from a child. Like showing my grandparents, showing me how to pick cotton and how to put it in the sack and how to hold it to how to carry it to the truck, put it in the truck to haul it away.
So your parents and grandparents were sharecroppers?
Oh, absolutely. You said the word, sharecroppers.
In Macon,
Mississippi.
Macon, Mississippi. This is going back quite some time.
Quite some time, yes. And I always had this dream in my head that I wanted to elevate myself. I had no idea how am I going to go about it, but I know it's in my head and I have to figure it out. So music was the answer to it.
And so you came north to Chicago.
Yes.
Did you bypass, or you just straight to Chicago?
Oh no, I moved. My uncle moved us. My grandparent and myself. My uncle moved us to Birmingham, Alabama. He lived in Birmingham.
Right.
And that was his mother and father, which was my grandmother.
Okay.
And he got very dissatisfied with them living in Mississippi, and there was no other relatives there except his parent and myself, which he's my uncle. He said, we were very unhappy with you all being here in the middle of nowhere, because we're out in the countryside.
Right.
And there's no other relatives around, and my grandparents were getting old. They said, you're going to need someone to look after you. He said, why don't you move to Birmingham, where I'm living, so I could see after you. So he finally convinced them to move. So we moved. He bought a house for him in Birmingham.
And when is the first time, you know, very briefly, that you started playing guitar? How did that all happen?
I really started playing I started playing gospel in churches in Birmingham. And there was this one gospel group that my uncle knew, and they happened to be the Five Blind Boys of Alabama. And they were.
I remember them.
Yeah,
they did a hell of a job. The Five Blind Boys.
And they would have a program every Sunday. They'd go from church to church with their program every Sunday with singing.
Right.
So they said to my uncle, they found out that I played a little guitar, a little acoustic guitar, and they needed a guitar for these couple of Sundays to play behind, because the other guy, they had something happen. So they said to my Uncle Houston, could you ask your nephew if he would play with us the next couple of Sundays.
Oh, no kidding.
So I said, sure, I'll be happy to. I didn't know any of that material or anything, but I had heard them sing. So I was willing to take a chance, and I was too shy to do anything, to even go on a stage. But I said, oh, sure, I'll go. And I went and did it. And that's how I...
Well, how long had you been playing guitar at that point?
Probably maybe about a year or something. But I took a chance.
No kidding, no kidding.
And I had no idea that they were going to become as famous as they did.
Oh, sure. No, they did a lot of work. They did a lot of work, they did.
Yeah. Good.
So what was the tender age of, you were the tender age of X when you started playing guitar? What were you? 10, 15?
About 13.
13 years of age.
Right. Because I moved to Chicago when I was 15. All by myself. That same uncle, no, there was a different uncle that was in Chicago. My Uncle Houston.
Yeah.
He knew I always wanted to pursue music as a career.
Right.
And he came to Chicago and he got to meet people like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Bill Walter, Jimmy Reed, and a lot of people, Elmo James. And he wrote me a letter in Birmingham saying, you always wanted to pursue music as a career. If you come to Chicago, it would be more of a possibility that you could do that, because people like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, Jimmy Reed, these people play music for a living, full time.
Right.
I said, that's all I needed to hear. I said, uh-oh.
Right.
I wrote him back and said, send me a ticket. I'm on my way.
Right, right. How old were you when that happened?
I was 15.
15 years of age, ladies and gentlemen.
He sent me a ticket for the Greyhound bus.
So at the age of 13, Eddy Clearwater picks up a guitar. At the age of 15, Eddy Clearwater gets a message from some relatives in Chicago, says, come here. And now he's 78 years old, and if you've been playing guitar longer than a lot of people live, Eddie.
I guess you're right.
65 years, this is what 65 years of guitar playing will get you. It'll get you the legend of Eddy the Chief Clearwater. And you've been playing all over the world for a long time. I heard a story about you, and I don't know where I heard it. The story goes that you were shy.
Was shy?
You were shy.
Shy? Oh.
You were shy. You never wanted to take a lot of credit. You hanging back and being a support player and stuff like that. And one of the famous names, I forget which, to say, hey, what are you standing back here for? Why don't you? You've been playing enough now. Why don't you come out and you start being a front man for yourself? Who was it? I thought it was B.B. King that said it to you, or somebody. I don't know who it was.
No, it was Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry, that's it. I knew it was one of them.
At the Manor Lounge in, on Manheim Road.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, they booked Chuck Berry. And I was working in that area, playing at some clubs, some country western clubs, and I was doing a lot of Chuck Berry material at that time.
Right.
And fortunately, I was able to continue to work, because this is what the people, most of the white people, they wanted to hear Chuck Berry, and they related to what he was doing.
Sure.
So they booked Chuck from St. Louis, and the Jesters was the group that owned the club.
Right. Okay. I know. Yeah. Okay.
And
what is this, about 1948, 49, 50,
no,
51,
50,
54, 55?
55 or 56,
55,
yeah.
Right. This is after he had landed himself at Chess Records.
Right,
and
exactly.
Leonard Chess started buying off all the DJs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because had it not been for Leonard Chess buying off all the DJs.
Thank you.
Let's get this straight.
Right.
Because there are a couple of places where they say that rock and roll sprang from, but let's get this straight. Leonard Chess opened up Chess Records.
That's right.
Leonard Chess signed Chuck Berry. Leonard Chess signed Willie Dixon. Leonard Chess Little Walter. Leonard Chess signed Muddy Waters. Leonard Chess signed
Howlin' Wolf. Leather Chest signed Eddy James.
That's right.
Leather Chest, you know, all these, the pantheons of the classics of the blues scenario, but it was Leonard Chess doing that shtick with Chuck Berry records.
Yes.
And had it not been for that, rock and roll would have taken a little bit longer, at least.
Well, we're taking longer
because you know,
to surface.
Leonard Chess had nothing to do with the birth of Chuck Berry and Little Richard and the likes of that.
But he brought it to the forefront.
But he brought it because of his vision.
Right. Yeah.
And his absolute, as they say in Yiddish, his chutzpah. His chutzpah that he started buying off the DJs and getting this and taking it out of being called race music,
right? Yes,
and getting it into vibing it into mainstream rock and roll, which is what gave Elvis Presley and
Thank
Bill
you.
Haley
That was my next
comics.
statement. See, I was in Leonard Chess, and then Sam Phillips from Sun Records.
Exactly, right.
Those two record companies.
But it was Leonard Chess first.
It's first, that's right. They changed the whole world musically.
Absolutely.
Leonard Chess and Sam Phillips from Sun Records in Memphis.
That's
They
right.
changed, they made all the young people, young white kids and everybody,
And
they made them look at the world totally different. Like,
and this
music is turned upside down.
Absolutely, and it's been the same party ever since.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, two small record companies. They did
Yeah, you know, you've had a storied career. You've been all over the world several times. And I know, for if you want to give the fans back in the United States who are a little bit enamored with themselves, if you want to give the fans back in the United States a little glimpse into how popular Chicago blues is everywhere in the world. I mean, you are received by standing room audiences wherever you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the crowds out. When don't it always seem to go when you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Until it's gone.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like back home. You had a great crowd tonight, of course, and we'll get to the footage of that. But it seems like you got to get out of here to really get the love that you worked for all your life.
That's right. Look at Jimi Hendrix. He had to do the same thing.
That's right.
Yeah, he was from the Seattle area. He was just another guy playing music around Seattle. He went to Europe, went to Britain, to England.
Right.
Came back a major star.
Huge star.
See, Jimi Hendrix, are you kidding?
Yeah.
But
who we're sitting here with, ladies and gentlemen, one of the pioneers of what brought all of it, because those guys were listening to you guys.
That's where it all came from. Yeah.
Right. And I want to correct. I heard a story. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to correct people about where fuzz tone came from, because I heard a story that somebody knocked over a microphone, an old Gretsch amplifier, and it tore a hole in the speaker. And then after that, all the blues players started just taking their amplifiers and taking a razor blade and cutting the speaker.
I heard that same story. I can't swear by it, but I heard that same story. That a speaker got damaged somehow, and the guy played his guitar, and so that raggedy sound.
Right.
And they said,
"Man,
I like that. That's different." They said, "Hey, how can we create an amp that sounds like that?"
Right.
That's when they created the fuzz tone.
That's when they created
That's
the
the
fuzz
same
tone.
story I heard.
Yeah. Eddie, you just came back from Europe not too long ago.
Well, last year I did, three tours in Europe last year. This is just early 2013. Last year I was in Europe. This year I have to go to Argentina and Brazil. That's already on the calendar.
Boy, I wish I could be on that gig, man.
Yeah,
I'd
but
give
then
anything to be opening up for that gig.
But then I have to go to Netherlands. I went to Netherlands.
Oh, they love us over
twice last year.
Netherlands is a great audience.
Oh yeah, they they cling to the blues.
Yeah, they really love the blues over in the Netherlands. And you've got a you released not too long ago a DVD.
DVD, yeah.
Of the French gig in what, Junis?
In Junis, France, yeah.
Junis, France.
Yeah, that's South France.
Terrific. Saw the CD, saw the DVD. Terrific show. They ate every single licking note that you spent out. Just a great show.
Oh, the French audience, when they sit right in front of you and they observe every note that you play and every phrase that you sing. They're paying attention. You think they're not even listening to you.
Right.
But you finish a song, they go, oh.
Yeah.
They're paying attention to the art, the craft.
Right.
They really.
I mean, they really love the blues out there. And to them, it's like
more than music.
It's like classical music is to us back
art,
here.
It's art, yeah.
Right. And that's out. The publisher on that and the marketer on that, label on that is Alligator Records.
Alligator Records, yeah.
The venerable Chicago blues label, Alligator Records. Probably the most successful label in Chicago right now, run by our good friend Bruce Eglauer, who's been doing a terrific bang-up job for about 40 years. That's and what's it? It's just Eddy the Chief Clearwater out on DVD. You can go to Eddy Clearwater. Is it eddyclearwater.com?
Yeah, there is a website, eddyclearwater.com, yes.
You just go straight to Eddy's website, eddyclearwater.com, and you can pick up this DVD.
Right, and they can pick it up on Amazon.
15, 20 bucks, people. I mean, what do you got to lose, I mean, you get an education and you see a little piece of history all at the same time. How can it get any better than that, especially for all of you blues fans out there and blues rock fans and for all you young guitar players that are coming up, because if you can't play the blues, forget about all the rest of that stuff.
That's the foundation.
You forget about all the rest of that stuff. Play the blues first, get your
hands swing out.
And who we're sitting here with, ladies and gentlemen, is a man that's got his own style. Now that's the other thing that a lot of people miss. Guitar players got their signature things that they do. Eddy's got his signature things, and we're going to show you some of that with the broadcast. But Eddy Clearwater is a man that clearly has his own distinct footprint or fingerprint on the blues. And that's what's important about any guitar player that's going to pick it up. So it's not just a guitar, it's a people's music, don't get me wrong. But any guitar player out there that is going to put their fingerprint on the blues, they've got to learn from the masters first and then find something to make it theirs.
You're correct, yes.
Am I absolutely right about that?
Exactly. You define it after you got to find yourself. And it's say, who am I in this whole thing? And you find yourself, then you can take it from there.
Right.
Yes.
Eddy Clearwater, God bless you. It is an absolute pleasure to be able to shake your hand on your 78th birthday.
Thank you.
I hope that sooner or later, somebody's going to do one hell of a PR job and give this man a Grammy Award for a lifetime achievement, if nothing else.
They nominated me once, but then they gave it to Buddy Guy.
Well,
that's my buddy.
And Buddy deserved it.
Yeah, he plays a lot of dues. Yeah, that's why I played for his recognition from the Kennedy Center.
Right.
And I was really happy to see him receive that, because if one of us can do it, someone else can do it. Right. So you have to be positive.
Right. Somebody got to lead the charge,
Somebody got to lead the charge.
And LA and New York been paying Chicago a little bit of short shrift for a little bit of long time. But what we're trying to get them out there is the idea is, listen, babies, we're not the Second City, we're not the Windy City, and we ain't the place that Al Capone came from. That's old news. That's early 20th century BS. We are the capital of the Midwest Coast, Chicago, Illinois, USA, and this is Scott Pollock, a.k.a. Street, from the band Dr. Eight, sitting with Eddy the Chief Clearwater backstage at the Space Remember to go to eddyclearwater.com, buy the latest DVD. It's a grace note, people. 15, 20 bucks. How can you lose? You get an education. You get a great show. Eddie, happy 78th birthday.
Thank
it is
you.
absolutely a pleasure to
Thank
see
you.
you
I
here.
appreciate
God
this.
bless you and your lovely wife Renee. And I hear that you're living in my old neighborhood.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to sign off. We want to thank you for letting us bend your ear. This is Scott Pollock from the Critical Post, Chicago, capital of the Midwest Coast, Illinois, USA. We'll see you, babies. Bye-bye.
Well, how was all that? Not bad, you say. Well, that's good. We're glad you're enjoying it. Here is also an interview with Dave Specter from the Space. And he is part owner, and he's also a guitarist and world-traveling musician in his own right. As a matter of fact, he announced in this interview that he's on his way to Tel Aviv in a little bit. So here's the interview with Dave Specter, and we hope you enjoy that as well. Here's Dave. This is another Critical Post Chicago exclusive with one of the owners of probably one of the best boutique stages in all of the Midwest, here in Evanston, just north of the border in Chicago, called The Space. And they've been now working for, I would believe, a couple of years now, Dave?
Going on 5 years.
And this is one of the owners and takes care of all the music. His name is Dave Specter. Dave Specter is a player in his own right. Has quite a few albums to his credit. Just look that up. It's T-E-R, right at the end. S-P-E-C-T-E-R. Dave Specter. As a matter of fact, he spent some time on stage tonight. We're celebrating Eddy Clearwater's, what is it, 78th birthday, right, Dave? Yeah. And he spent some time on stage, and we're trying to get a little bit of the inside scoop of what's been going on here at the Space, and ask Dave a few questions and give you all an inside look into the workings of one of the best little stages in all of the Midwest, the Space in Evanston, Illinois, just south of Northwestern, just north of Chicago. Dave, how are you this evening?
Great, man. Good to be with you.
It's really great to see you. Dave, you know, we've been hearing about this Space now for a couple of years. And, you know, I don't know how the place eventually came to be or developed. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, like I said, we're about to celebrate our 5th anniversary, and I'm one of the partners here, and the owner, whose name is Craig Golden, lives right around the corner, lifelong Evanston. I'm myself, I'm from Chicago. I lived in the city, grew up there, and lived there all my life, and spent some time in Evanston growing up. And Craig and I went to Champaign together at U of I, University of Illinois, before I dropped out to become a guitar player. And, you know, we always talked. You know, Craig got into real estate. He's also a guitar player. And,
another musical lover.
Yeah. And, you know, we talked 20 years ago about opening a band together someday. Right. And there's another partner, Stuart, who actually had a venue for about 3 or 4 months called Space, right around the corner from here.
Right.
And Stuart, Craig, and I.
Wasn't that down Chicago Avenue a little bit?
I think it was on Dempster.
Was it on Dempster?
Yeah, they just booked some folk music and some bluegrass for a little while.
Right.
A couple singer-songwriters. That's where we got the name, and we formed this partnership. Craig's got the real estate expertise, found this great building, renovated it, you know, pretty much a total gut job.
Right. I think this used to be the Sound Post, didn't it?
Sound Post was right next door.
Right next door,
yeah,
right.
This has been everything from a car dealership to a factory to a clothing store to a rug warehouse. It's an old building, and my role is mainly to advise our booker. We have a full-time booker, talent buyer, and I kind of help program the room and bring a lot of my blues, jazz, R&B, soul, and even rock sensibilities to a lot of bookings.
And you certainly have a lot as demonstrated tonight on stage. We're going to be showing you some of that footage, and we'll cut away to it because we got the whole evening. And we did catch Dave on stage, and he sounded great. Dave, you talked a little bit about the fact that you were with, you did some production with Delmark Records.
Yeah, I was signed to Delmark as a band leader and guitar player in 1990, and I've done 8 records for them. I've produced a number of others by artists like Lurie Bell and Steve Freund.
Oh, Lurie Bell, yeah.
Yeah, I've produced 2 records by Lurie, 2 records by Steve Freund. I've had almost a 20-year association, over 20-year association with Delmark. And I did my last record for a small upstart label called Fret 12 in Chicago, and we actually recorded it right here.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, that album was called Spectify, and down the best CDs of 2010.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah, so I'm still pretty much, I always was a full-time musician until I got involved with this, and now I'm part-time here, and part-time still on the road, and still touring and playing.
You got anything special coming up that you can tell us about that we can vibe out there?
Well, tour-wise, in November I played in Argentina for the first time.
Oh, how was that?
That was a trip. Some serious blues fans down there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was down there during the election and was invited to the U.S. ambassador's palatial residence. It was amazing for election night.
Wow, no kidding.
Party.
No kidding.
And I'm playing in Israel in March.
Oh, yeah? Where?
Second time I've been...
Tel Aviv, Jerusalem?
I'm playing in Tel Aviv, in a small town outside of Tel Aviv. That just got booked within the last couple of weeks.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. And what about any plans for, are you doing any writing these days? Are you producing any talent? What are you doing?
I have about 6 or 8 tunes in the can ready for a new recording project, and I'm kind of on the verge of announcing something in terms of a new record, because I haven't done anything since 2010, so I think something might be happening soon.
Well, maybe you'll give us the inside scoop on that when you're ready.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just intimating it, friends and neighbors.
Yeah.
He wants to. It's the carrot on the stick routine. He's you can tell he's a seasoned showman. He knows what he's doing. Is there any female artists you're working with?
Yeah, I don't sing. I'm a guitar player, I'm a band leader, and I back up a lot of great singers. And I'm actually going to Israel with Dietra Farr.
Oh, Dietra Farr, no kidding.
Dietra made a guest appearance on my first album, and she's great to work with. And I also work around town and tour Europe pretty regularly with Sharon Lewis.
Okay.
Who also was a Delmark recording artist. She was a guest on my Live in Chicago CD and DVD on Delmark that came out in 2008. And Sharon's in Switzerland now with her own band, but Sharon and I work together pretty regularly around Chicago as well, where I still play probably 7 or 8 nights a month.
Right, right. Isn't it amazing how well the world of Chicago blues is received all over the world? As soon as you get out, of the city and you get away, you get out of the country, especially. What people don't realize in the States is that Chicago blues has a very big following all over the world. We are the international capital of the blues, thanks in no small part to the Chicago International Blues Festival, which is the largest in the world. This is a pleasure to be in such a wonderful studio and a wonderful club, and the great job that you guys are doing. You've been promoting artists out here, and obviously it must be a success. The crowd was packed tonight.
Yeah.
You were packed, and you guys are doing a great job, and it's a wonderful stage and a great sound going on here that you got going on.
Thank you very much.
What do you got coming in that we can vibe out there with this little broadcast?
Yeah.
What do you got coming up?
We got a lot of great stuff coming up. I just want to say last night was Booker T.
Oh,
And,
no kidding.
You know, that was unbeatable. Second time here.
Yeah.
Our House B3 put to put to use in the best of possible ways with Booker T. And second time he's been here was a thrill.
That's the Booker T,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. Booker T and the MGs, and if you don't know the tune that Quentin Tarantino finally remade famous called Green Onions, that's the reference. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
They had a big crowd, huh?
Yeah, it was sold out, like
Yeah.
like Eddy Clearwater tonight. So
Yeah.
we're very grateful that our customers are buying tickets and appreciating what we're doing. Dr. John is coming back here for 2 shows in April. That's
No
April
kidding.
17th.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Shamika Copeland,
Okay.
great young Grammy-nominated blues singer. She'll be back here for a 3rd or 4th time. She did New Year's Eve here a couple of years ago. We just announced Jimmy Vaughn.
Oh, Jimmy Vaughn's
Jimmy
coming.
Vaughn returning on April 7th.
Okay.
We do jazz. John Schofield will be here.
Okay.
Joe Lovano, great tenor player.
Okay.
And let's see another. We do a lot of New Orleans R&B. I mentioned Dr. John. Alan Toussaint's been here a couple times.
Alan Toussaint.
We do
yeah.
brass bands like Dirty Dozen. There's a new band out of New Orleans featuring some members of Dirty Dozen and the Radiators, who broke up recently. They're called the New Orleans Suspects.
Okay.
They'll be here in February. I'm thrilled. A week from Tuesday, Albert Lee, one of the most amazing electric guitar players on the planet, who was in Clapton's band, who was Emmylou Harris's band leader, played with the Everly Brothers. You know, country rock genius.
Right.
Played at the last couple of Clapton Crossroads Festival.
Oh, okay.
Albert Lee will be here on the 29th of January.
Well, you know, it sounds like you continuing with a heck of a success story here at the Space in Evanston,
Thanks,
Illinois. I believe it's the evanstonspace.com is the web address.
You got it.
That's evanstonspace.com. And you can, you know, get advanced seating online, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, you can, but one of the things we do that our customers really like is you can actually buy a reserved table online.
Reserved tables here at the Space in Evanston. Well, Dave, you know, thanks for taking time out of your busy evening and being so gracious to come on camera for us and give us a little bit of insight about what you guys are doing. We'd like to congratulate you on what a great job you guys are doing. Just a great job at being promoters and ambassadors for the Chicago scene, which is quite extensive. We're going to leave it right now.
All right, I got some empty broken beer bottles
Really?
I gotta go sweep up, man. So
we really appreciate it. This is, again, Dave Specter and the Space in Evanston, evanstonspace.com. This is Scott Pollock, also known as Street from the band Dr. 8, coming to you from the capital of the Midwest Coast, Chicago, Illinois, and the Critical Post, Chicago. We'll see you later, folks, and thanks a lot for tuning in.
So, well, that's basically it for this particular episode. We really had a lot of fun with the folks that we spent our time with. We want to thank Eddy Clearwater for his graciousness and time, and we'd like to thank again Dave Specter. I would like to remind you that Eddy's got a DVD out that's on Alligator Records. You can go to his website, eddyclearwater.com, and buy it. And remember again that if you're in Chicagoland, you can go to evanstonspace.com and reserve a table or take a look at what they've got going on there. They've got a lot of top name acts coming in, and I think that it'd be well worth your time if you go over to the space in Evanston. But that just about wraps it up for now. So this is again Scott Pollock, aka Street, from the band Dr. 8, coming to you from the Critical Post Chicago in Chicago, Illinois, USA, capital of the Midwest Coast. We'll see you soon. We got a lot more coming your way. Take care, folks.